Cheers, bitches. My account is overdrafted like $48, but there's so many other things to be happy about. Like, one, my stomach is cramping because I'm on my period, but better that than pregnant. I'm sorry, it just had to be said. Also, I'm finally moving. Oh, that is probably the cherry on top of all of this. So yeah, we're just looking on the bright side today. Hello YouTube world, it's Mara and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your first time watching me. Thank you for sticking around. I really appreciate it. Like, really appreciate it. Anyway, we're gonna have so much cheesy b-roll in this video and I'm so pumped for it because I'm finally moving and all the fucking feelings are coming up and I obviously have to talk about it, but it definitely feels like I'm closing off a chapter of my life, but a chapter that I was simultaneously so excited to close, but also so incredibly grateful for. So can we have a small round of applause for my accidental shag? That is my hair right now. I am telling you, like last video, I am just disgusted with my hair right now. I know those words sound really fucking harsh, but it's just so gross to me. Like, I think this is why I always go back to chopping my hair off. I've realized, like, I just don't love super long hair on myself when it has no shape. Like, I desperately need a haircut and my hair just looks so blah. So today is actually a really good day. A really good hair day for me because I'm not disgusted by it. You should have seen me yesterday. I was literally looking up like hair salons that were open so I could get a haircut today, and I was like legitimately thinking of chopping it off, but because my account is overdraft, I can't. Anyway, let's get into this video. When I first decided to jump on this moving escapade with my sister and her partner, I was looking for adventure and change in my life and honestly a lot of self-growth. And it's funny because in therapy I talked about this with my therapist and I really think I got all of that. I got the adventure. I got so much self-growth in these past 6 months and I'm so ready to utilize all of that. I feel like I was just trying to say that I feel like I have grown so much in these past 6 months. And while I simultaneously feel like I'm running away from this place, I also feel like this place holds such a deep, like, sentimental place in my heart because I feel like this almost provided the cocoon for me to grow into a butterfly, and now I feel like I'm ready to spread my wings and fly away. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, like that's exactly what it feels like. I feel like one of the biggest things that this place has taught me, or this time frame, or yeah, this special moment in time and being here has taught me, was how capable I am for life. I can't even think back to a time when I didn't question myself and didn't question my abilities or my capabilities, or those are the same fucking things. Anyway, let's move on. I question myself in general, and I feel like this place, through going through therapy, everything that I've experienced here has shown me, I guess, proved to myself and made me look at past versions of myself where I was doing life. Like, I feel like there's always these sayings that like, oh, your life doesn't really start till after high school, or your life doesn't start till after college, or wait till you get out of your grad program, like life will start. And it's like, no, that whole time you have been doing life, you have been learning lessons, you have been disappointing people, you have been disliked by others, like all the same things that happen when you're out of school or when you're in a different environment have been going on that entire time, and you've been managing them. And for me, I feel like I always used conditional factors to disqualify why I couldn't have possibly done that on my own. Like when I moved out with my sister and her partner, I was like, I can't possibly live on my own because I'm living with them. That was the only reason I was able to move out. It's like, okay, but you still did it. You still had your rent on time. You still had your money for the electric bill. You still had the money for the gas bill. Like, you still had money for groceries. Like, you were still adulting and you were still doing the things that you needed to do. And that's just one example of many past reflections that I've had on myself during this time here, and been like, this whole fucking time, I have been doing life and I've been pretty fucking good at it. And I don't know why I keep doubting myself and why I kept not believing that I could do these things, or that I was incapable or in some way of handling the consequences of my actions. And another big one that we recently just discussed last week, so I'm not going to go too crazy depth into it if you want to watch that video. Me destroying the people pleaser in me. Oh my gosh. I don't know why I could not fucking think of the title. Girl, get it together. Anyway, that was another big one that I already knew. Like, I already knew I was a people pleaser to the core of my being, but I really thought I had destroyed a big part of it when I was much younger. I thought I had gotten rid of this need to be liked, this need to be loved by everyone, and not have anyone say anything bad about me. Like, I want to say like 3 years ago. And thanks just circumstances and me being triggered and me like really looking deep within, I was like, girl, that still lives within you. Well, lived, because we now know better and we are going to act better. And I think to the core of my being, the problem was my self-worth, and I just didn't think my opinion was enough. I needed other people's opinions to make me feel validated and make me feel good about who I was and the things that I was into and my hobbies and interests and the other people that I liked. And you know, everyone else's opinion mattered so much more to me because mine didn't feel like enough. And the more I'm like, damn girl, you're actually really fucking cool, and the shit that you like is fun, and who gives a fuck if people like the shit that you like or they like you. It gives me a lot more strength, actually. Let's start there. A lot more strength to walk alone and a lot less fear of doing life alone. I was talking with my therapist about this, where when I was 18, I really felt like I was doing life alone, and it was the most detrimental thing in my entire life. Like, I fucking hated being alone. I hated my thoughts. I hated the person that I was. I hated everything happening in my life. And now that I'm slowly walking through life and building myself and building the life that I want, I realize a big part of life as an adult is done alone. But because my mindset is so different than when I was 18, 19, I love being alone. I enjoy it so much. And I feel like that has taken this huge fear away from me of doing life alone. And I think recently also, I've gotten so many confirmations from my loved ones and friends and family of just reminding me, you're not actually doing this alone. And that was, I don't know, I'm getting so emotional. Well, I am on my period, so that's probably why I'm so emotional. But that was just a beautiful reminder, because I think oftentimes we do feel like we have to have it all figured out and we're doing this all alone. At least for myself, because I'm not the type of bitch to cling on to a relationship that's not working out. Like, I'm just not. I'm telling you, I value and love my alone time, so I'm not gonna stick to a boy that's not doing anything for me, even to just not be alone. Anyway, so to get so much support during this move from people being like, hey, if you need anything, just reach out, let me know. And that is just so nice to hear, that you don't have to do life as alone as you think. But in saying that, that was a nice reminder, but I do understand that my day-to-day is going to be very alone, and I'm okay with that. I love that, because I'm loving the person that I'm becoming, and my opinion is what matters the most. So who gives a fuck if people think I'm annoying or too much, too loud? I feel like I'm still working on allowing myself to be too much and too loud, and to really just say whatever the fuck I want and deal with the consequences afterwards. Because when I tell you I was an overthinker, oh my god, I cannot explain to you how bad of an overthinker I was. I would literally be in my head responding to what the person said, imagining what their response was going to be so I could have my next response ready. Like, I'm disgusted with how much of an overthinker I used to be, but I'm glad I don't care nearly as much anymore. Yeah, I feel like I'm destroyed the people pleaser in me, and honestly also being okay with people not liking me. Like, if someone has something bad to say about me, that's their opinion of me. That doesn't actually have to be true for who I believe I am and who I know I am. Anyway, that has also allowed me to be okay with disappointing people and just valuing my wants, my needs, myself above everyone else. Because if I'm not okay, I can guarantee you I'm not going to be a good person to other people. And it just like blows my fucking mind how oblivious I was to these things earlier in life. And it's not like I'm being harsh on myself, because it's something my therapist said, is to look at things with a curious perspective, so you're not judging yourself so much. But I'm just like, I feel like I was walking around with like a blindfold on, almost, of just going, I cannot explain it any other way than I feel like I was just going with the flow of what everyone else was doing. I wouldn't say what I wanted or needed. I would look around for everyone else's validation of like, yeah, we're going about the same pace in life, I must be doing all right. Like, I kid you not when I say I was just going with the flow of what everyone else was doing, because it looked like they were doing life right, not realizing or ever really questioning myself of like, is that what you want to fucking do? Do you want to live here? Do you want to live there? Do you want to go to school here? Do you want to go to school there? Is that what you want for a career? I feel like I was just I'm blinded. I don't know any other way to put it besides blinded, because I wasn't secure enough in myself to say, no, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to do it. This is how we're going to get there. And I'm going to try my fucking best to do it. And if I don't do it, at least I tried my best and I failed, and that was fine. I feel like this is an area that I still have so much to learn, but relationships. I feel like I learned a lot up here, and because I went on like a handful of dates, like, yeah, well, of course, I made a whole video about it. You guys know I went on Hinge for a little bit. I went on a couple dates. What's the right word? Conversed? I don't think that's the right word. Conversated? No, let me look it up. It's conversed. Anyway, I conversed. Why? And then I can't say it. What is wrong with me? Okay, maybe it's a coffee. I don't fucking know. But, and I conversed with a couple of men, and it just made me realize how easy it was for me to fall back into old patterns of just being content with receiving male validation, that I'd never even stopped to ask myself if I really liked these men until it was already too late and we're like on the date, and I was just like, wow, this is the worst fucking date of my life. Yeah. Why am I like that? It's a people pleaser in me, but now that that's dead, I'm genuinely just not wasting my time. But yeah, I can't say anything else besides, like, I'm speechless of that. That was my behavior in relationships. Yeah, and it just has made me realize, to a certain extent, I feel like it's important to be a bitch when you're dating. Like, and I don't even mean like just be fucking mean to men. No, but like genuinely, if I don't see anything going anywhere, just cut it off. Just cut it off. Like, it is not worth it. And every single time I don't listen to myself with that mentality, it bites me in the ass. So I'm genuinely going to start using that moving forward. I cannot stress that enough. Like, dating, I know I got a lot of things to learn, but that is probably my biggest lesson that I've learned up here. Just the power of no. The power of no. And also, I feel like there's no rush. Oh my gosh. I cannot explain how much there is no rush to find a man. I feel like for a split second felt this need to like jump into a relationship because I'm not fucking kidding. Everyone around me is in a committed relationship, pregnant, and entering that stage of their life. And for like, I don't know, 1 millisecond, I must have gone fucking cuckoo and thought I needed to do that because that was what everyone around me was doing. And I'm glad I have gone through this second spiritual awakening. Christ has enlightened me. The sun is out. The stars are gleaming so bright. I don't need that. I don't want that. At least not at this time in my life. Like, I am so far from the person I want to be when I have kids. I don't think that's accurate. Let me rephrase that. I feel like I have so much life yet to live before I want to have kids. Like, I literally talked to my sister who's pregnant. I have 3 sisters. One has a 2-year-old and the 2 other ones are pregnant right now. So when I'm telling you everyone's pregnant, everyone's fucking pregnant. Watch out. Anyway, when I was talking to one of my sisters that's pregnant, I was like, if I found out I was pregnant tomorrow, like, I would be bawling my eyes out, just grieving this version of myself that I feel so ready to blossom and be so selfish with my energy and time. And now having a kid, while kids are blessings, and I truly 100,000% believe that, I would definitely have to go through a period of time where I was just grieving myself, because I feel like I'm saying right now, I've just finally feel this confidence and desire to live for me and only me, that if I found out I was pregnant, bitch, I would just, no, I wouldn't off myself, but I would be crying for probably the entire pregnancy, because I'm just like, I'm not ready. And that's me saying that at 26. I'm gonna be 27 this year, but I genuinely feel like I'm not having kids till I'm like 30. Again, I feel like 30 just sounds so hot and sexy to me. Oof. Another thing that I feel like I've learned up here, I have made so much peace with the way my life has played out and the moment in time that I am right now. When I was younger and I was really depressed and I was experiencing so many things, difficult things in my life that traumatized me, I feel like I gave so much compassion to other people. And when I got up here, I kind of explored this underlying hurt that was manifesting as anger, because anger is a secondary emotion. Most of the time, I'm just telling you, you're not angry, you're just really fucking hurt. So if you're a really angry person, you probably have a lot of fucking hurt. And that's okay, that's absolutely so fine. But it's important to process that hurt so you don't become such an angry person. Anyway, I was exploring that anger and I was just like, I'm angry that I'm such a good grown-up for my age, but that only has happened through being put in situations and positions that maybe I shouldn't have at certain ages. And I was exploring that anger and I was allowing myself to feel the hurt. And I feel like, again, this all just ties to loving the person that I'm becoming. It has made me gain so much peace and compassion again and empathy for those old versions of me and the circumstances, the people involved, of just, it's okay. It's okay that I had to go through those things, because without those things and those lessons and those traumas, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. And I love the person that I am today. I love the trajectory of my life. I love the direction I'm going in. And that just gave me so much peace. And I feel like for the first time in my life, when I say I'm like happy with where I am in life, I'm just not comparing my life to other people's. I think for so long, especially, oh my God, I cannot explain how much in my early like 18 to like 23-year-old life, I feel like I was a comparison queen, babes. Queen of comparing my life to other people's. When I tell you, social media was so detrimental to me in that age, where I was just comparing my life to rich 18-year-old, 20-year-olds, influencers that just looked like they got handed everything. I'm not saying they did, but it just can appear like that on social media. And I felt like I was so behind. Literally, I told my therapist the other day, my early 20s, I feel like can be described as like the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, where he's like, I'm late. I just felt like I was so fucking behind in life. And now I realize I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and I'm so happy with the point that I am. I feel like something that has helped me get to that point is just realizing what is the rush to accomplish all these things so quickly. Like, the entire point of life is to experience every single moment fully, in my eyes, because the finish line is just death. We're all gonna die someday. So why am I rushing to meet these milestones and rush out of this chapter that I'm in? Because I know as soon as I rush out of this one and I get to the next one, I'm gonna want to rush out of that one and get into the next one. I'm like, no, I don't want to rush through life, get to the end of it and be like, I didn't fucking enjoy any of it. And I'm like, genuinely, to the core of my being, I'm like, when and if I get married, I'm like, even if that's at 30, like, God willing, let's say I live to like 95, which seems like a long fucking time to me if you tell me, but let's say God keeps me on this earth till 95. If I get married at 33, 35 even, I'm like, that's 50 fucking years I'll be married. Like, unless my spouse dies or whatever, you get the point. Wait, is that 50? No, that's 60. Oh my gosh, I'm such a fucking dumbass. Oh my gosh. You get the point, okay? It's a long fucking time that I will be married unless my spouse dies or whatever the case situation is. Same thing with kids. If I decide to have kids at 35, God willing, I live till 95, that's 60 years of their life that I will be here for. Like, why am I rushing to the next chapter of my life? And I feel like most of us want to rush into those chapters of our lives because society tells us that our life isn't full and fulfilling and happy unless we reach those milestones by a certain time. And I feel like that takes me to another lesson, is I finally feel like I'm realizing like I have to stop allowing other people to tell me how to live my life and what a good life looks like and what a bad life looks like. Because genuinely, to the core of my being, I don't think you can live, there's no right or wrong way to live life. You fuck up, you mess up, you fix it, you move on, you learn from it, hopefully, let's also add that. You learn from it so you don't do it again. But unless you're living life intentionally trying to maliciously hurt other people, I don't really think there's a bad way to do life. We all mess up, we all fuck up, we all fail, and we learn from it, and we should grow, and we should evolve and keep living life. Like, I feel like I genuinely cannot stress that enough. I feel like that is also such a important part of life, to fuck up, to mess up, to fail, and to learn and grow from it and keep living. Just keep living, baby. Livin. Yeah. I feel like those are all the lessons I can think of right now that I've learned in the past 6 months. And I cannot stress enough how sentimental and like amazingly close this place has to my heart. And at the same time, I'm so ready to break out of this cocoon and spread my wings and go live life on my terms, and fail and get up and try again. And it just seems so exciting. It seems like my life is starting, even though I know it's not, because I've been doing life for the past 26 years. But that's where I feel like it really truly, to me, feels like I'm closing this chapter of my life and I'm opening a new one, or opening a whole new fucking book. Like, 25 was the first quarter. We're entering second quarter of my life. And I couldn't be more excited and more stoked. I will probably do a moving vlog. I don't know if I want to do shorts though, or if I just want to do one big vlog. I don't know. I'll figure it out as we go though. Aside from that, peace, and blessings, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Board kisses for everyone.